That's interesting. At the end of the day, most people aren't going to make $100,000. So how do you make $100,000 in sales? It's a very easy formula. You don't have to have experience, like I said. I've seen people do it. If you're curious how and you find yourself watching a lot of videos online on trying to teach you how to make money, inaction is an action. So at some point you have to take a leap. You got to jump on it. I can show you a formula and that's about it. You're going to have to take the action to do it, but it's a proven formula. If you just follow it, you will make the money. So my commitment's this: if you're actually serious about changing your financial future, by the end of this video, you'll know how to do it. Let's start with the truth. Let's call out the obvious here. Most careers are the typical 8 to 5. There's a certain level of security that comes along with it. And while it feels good, the ceiling can be kind of low. So in sales and commission, your income's based on results. It's not a set salary. So ultimately, it's a skill set. If you learn sales and you learn it right, you're never going to fail. It's recession proof. You're never going to be in a situation where you can't go make money. You may be in a situation where you have to decide in which fashion you make money, but there's no industry out there where sales isn't important. You could start any business tomorrow, and the first thing you're going to have to figure out is how you're going to bring revenue in. So one of the issues is most people either pick the wrong sales job or they don't push through the difficulty of it. And by that I mean, if it was easy, everyone would do it. You're going to have to overcome things at the beginning of your sales career. But if you can fight through it, like I said, it's an invaluable tool. So let's talk about what it takes to actually succeed in sales. I've kind of broken it down to 3 things that I found most successful people that I know seem to figure out when it comes to this business. And the first one, and this has always been the most important one for me, is your why. I don't know if it's your family. I don't know if it's your loved one, if you have kids. Maybe you just like to chase shiny things. Maybe you want to buy a nice car. I don't know. I don't care. Find out what your why is. Find out what wakes you up in the morning. Number 2, you have to back it up. So number 2 is action and discipline. And this is probably one of the most important things, because there's a ton of people that want things. And there's actually a ton of talented people out there. I find there's very few that can show up when they say they're going to show up every single day, day in, day out. So action. Can you say you're going to do something? Can you show up to do it? And then number 3, let's call it what it is. It's talent, it's technique, it's repetition, it's going back to the drawing board, it's training over and over, it's getting critiqued, it's pushing through the hard stuff. If you can do those 3 things, so you got to have your why, you got to have discipline and action, and then it comes down to talent and technique. How good can you be? There's a big pool right here of mediocrity. Everyone usually floats in between that. A bunch of people fall off at the bottom, a lot of people rise up to the top, but there's a handful of people that make it to like an elite status. So let's break it down. $100,000. If you're selling something gives you a $2,000 commission, you're roughly going to have to sell 4.5 of those per month to kind of hit your mark. And obviously, if you're selling cheap products with tiny commissions, it's going to take you a little while. You're going to have to make a lot of phone calls. You're going to have to talk to a lot of people. I'd much rather sell a high ticket item. So let's talk specifically about roofing sales and why I think it's the fastest way to hit $100,000. If I look personally at my background, from telemarketing to call centers to timeshare to dealerships to management to recruiting to education sales for the last 2.5 decades, it's very rare to find an industry where what you're selling to a customer, essentially they don't have to pay for.
Wait, what? What's he saying?
A lot of roofing sales, if it's storm related, is going to go through their insurance company. And it may seem easy, and the fact that it seems easy is why it's hard. Competition's heavy. You have to be better. You have to be an expert. But I love that, because it is challenging. It is competitive. The most important thing is that you're working with the right people that can back it up on the production end. So if you go to have customers and you promise them something, you have working with a company that can deliver what they promise. Any commission business to this degree that's in direct sales, you'll find is a 70-30 or 80-20. And I'm sure people have heard it before. 80% of the people make 20% of the money. So why do most people fail? I'm going to steal this from someone. I think it was Hermosi or something.
5 stages that you go through as an entrepreneur when you're considering a new opportunity. This is where you are uninformed, but you're like, man, this opportunity sounds so great. Look at all these people making all this money. And so then you dive in. Informed pessimism. You're like, oh wow, this isn't as easy as I thought. There's all these other things that they didn't talk about in this ad or in this highlight reel that they show me on this YouTube short about this person that made $1,000 a day going from nothing from her home. This is where most people quit. And this is what most people do now. They find another one of these things to get into and they go all the way over back here. And so what happens is people keep repeating the cycle over and over and over again, and they never make progress.
It's the same thing in commission sales. It may seem great. I've never interviewed someone ever and been like, hey, how would you like to work your own schedule, kick ass, be part of a team and make 6 figures? And they've been like, no, we don't like money. It doesn't make sense. But you're going to find out that, hey, nothing's easy. You have to grind for it. But if you show up, if you follow a system, you can handle rejection, if you can handle the no's, it's kind of hard to fail, so to speak. I don't want people to come in here and make $100,000. I want someone to come in here and scratch the surface with it and want to go bigger. What we get excited about here is when someone comes on and they want to make a high income, but they want to know what's in it further down the road. When someone comes in here and they're thinking 24, 36, 48 months down the road and how they can build, those are the conversations we like to have. So I'm looking for ambitious, driven people. There's someone on our team right now. His name's Owen. He's gonna love it when he sees this. Owen called me in November. He called me from Michigan, living probably in his parents' basement. He's 20 years old, from Michigan, never had any sales experience. I don't really know if he really had a job, to be honest. We made a plan. He said, I'm gonna show up there January 1st. I want something different. I'm from a small town. I want change. At that point, I'm like, cool, call me in 2 weeks. Call me on this day.